Let's do it.
Let's go James 1, verse 19.
James 1:19.
Pretty simple one, but I think it's quite juicy. It has a lot of content in it. So, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. I love this verse because it's obviously being addressed to brethren, Christians. Let every man be swift to hear. So what does that tell you guys? You know, listen carefully. Don't jump the gun. Slow to speak. Think about what you say, how you say it. Careful what type of words and which words come out of your mouth. And slow to wrath. Don't get angry quick. Be careful with what is going to trigger you, and don't just straight away be a hothead and act on emotion. So what this is telling me is sort of addressing Christians to be like, God won't want you to just act on emotions and sort of jump right at it. With everything in life, as a Christian, be swift to hear, listen carefully, pay close attention, think about it, be slow to speak. Don't be just mumbling words like a fool and just say the first thing that comes out of your mouth. And slow to wrath. Don't get angry quick. Think about it. Be careful. You have a testimony to uphold. At the end of the day, you're representing Christ. So be careful with what you say and how you say it, and don't get angry too quick. That's what I take out of this verse.
It's basically saying don't be run with emotion. Don't react with emotion.
I mean, the next verse says it, for the wrath of man worketh not for the righteousness of God. God doesn't work through our emotion, like our anger emotion.
I mean, think about any confrontation you've ever had. The Bible says a soft answer turns away wrath, right? Think about any confrontation we've had just in general, right? Or any argument we've had. How many times has someone yelled back at you and then you get louder and it just goes back and forth and it just turns into a big thing, right? But then you switch it, one of the boys just reacts in, bro, you're right. Or bro, no, listen, you're wrong and here's why. And he's slow and he's calm in how he does it. Changes the entire conversation and the entire, direction of the argument. We need to be thinking about what we're saying before we let it out. And it's become a theme on this show again of think before you speak. Well, this is the exact same thing. It's when you get into these sort of situations, relax, take a step back and think about what you're going to do. Because at the end of the day, you have a testimony to fulfill.
Verse 19 to 27 is practically about hearing and doing of the word. Because if you look at verse 22, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. So there's one thing to read it and then there's one thing to apply and actually do it. But it's a very good verse because like you said, there's so much to unpack from it. And it's amazing how we can read a verse like that and think, oh yeah, that's pretty simple. But then when in the heat of that moment, we're the first to, we're not swift to hear, we're not slow to speak, and we're not slow to wrath.
Yeah, and the big thing that I noticed from that verse as well is, a lot of us can use the excuse of I just can't control my temper, I can't control myself. Like, it is what it is. Some people are just better at it. But he says, let every man. So every single one of us needs to learn this principle. Every single one of us needs to learn how to control our tongue.
It's as simple as thinking about a time where you acted out of anger, woke up the next morning, and I can guarantee you, because it happens all the time to me, I think about it, I'm like, man, I could have handled that situation another way, and now I've said stuff and done stuff I definitely regret, and I don't know if I can fix this.
Yeah, and it breaks relationships, it breaks friendships, it breaks families. But if you just took a step back, you thought about what your next word was going to be, and you just didn't let your temper get out of hand, things could change and things could be different.
I think it's very important, especially in a Christian life, especially when you have a testimony to uphold.
Especially today as well. I mean, you can transfer this to the social media world.
Oh yeah.
How many times have people typed up something, posted a comment, or posted something that they've regretted? No, just take a step back, think about what you're about to type before you put it out there.
Yeah, everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what you're doing.
Social media is very dangerous because it sticks there.
Yeah.
So is
Definitely.
this. Think about how dangerous this thing is that we're doing. I've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
But putting ourselves out on the internet to say, hey, this is what Christians are. This is how Christians live their lives. You make a mistake, it's out there. So you've got to really be. What I think what this is saying is be self-aware.
Be conscious. Be cautious.
Be conscious of the things that you're saying and the things you're doing, so that you're not making mistake after mistake and regretting it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stato.